Hi, this is Sarah from sarayip.com, Facebook, the Numbers Queen, and Instagram, sarayip1111. I'd love to invite you to my next class. It's an intro meditation webinar. I wanted to run this for many years. I felt I needed to collect a lot more techniques and practice them myself, and I'm ready to present them to you, and it seems like the right time. So 2022 is a universal 6-year. It's about healing our sixth sense, our six chakras here, the third eye, and it is all about that ability to see through things and into things, to know the ingredients list before you even turn the packet around. We have a world right now where there is a lot of illusion, and the people who are running those illusions would really love you not to come to classes like this. It's one of the reasons that I always run my classes at community prices, and just try to keep everything affordable, especially my Patreon group, which is where we continue studies in numerology and spirituality. So let's go through the class, shall we? I just wanted to show you what's included. I'm just going to share my screen. So here we are. Excuse my little face, hopefully you can still hear me. So basically, this is the page you'll see on my website, and I'll see if I can just make it a little bigger. Oh, maybe not quite that big. I'll just make do. I think this year is all about that. Okay, so basically, if you want to recover your peace and leave behind fear, if you need some hope after life's setbacks, if you'd really love some techniques to calm your mind, if you want to be able to access your heart's guidance quickly and kindly, if you're ready to know your destiny, the reason you came here, so that you can create that brighter future, and especially if you see those repeating numbers like 1111, 1212, and the triples, then this is definitely a class for you to consider. So I'm running it on Saturday, the 2nd of April, and there will be replays sent to everyone who registers. So it's okay if you can't attend live, you can still submit questions, and it's still incredibly powerful. The feedback has often been actually that people enjoy being able to go through it at their own pace. So I've got an early bird offer, and that's until the 26th of March. It's $66 in keeping with this year's 6 energy, and then it'll go up to 88 if there's still spaces left. So if you are one of my Patreon group members, it is $55. If you've been affected by the floods, just contact me and we'll find you a place, because I can tell you from experience, actually, having been a witness to the 2004 tsunami and involved in the 2010 Brisbane floods, which is where half my house went underwater. I know the value of this kind of information and just that support that you get from the class energy. And I would really, really love to be able to assist in this way. This is something that I know about, that I feel confident could make a difference for you right now. Okay, so just a quick run through of what else to expect. So I'm a highly sensitive person. I'm one of those people, I can hear a lot, I get visions. My skin is really sensitive. I have really silky psychic skin in Palmistry. So basically like a big baby. And honestly, meditation has given me quality of life. I have actually got an autism diagnosis. Some of you know that, some of you don't. That's been quite a relief, because I spent a lot of my life feeling like a fish out of water. And now I know that I do need my own aquarium. I need my own life, which is based on a lot of compassion and gentleness. And that's what I'm going to bring to the class. So I have personally meditated since I was a teenager. I learned in my drama class, actually, and I still remember the first time we got to take our uniforms off, wear all black, and just lie on the floor, and I just knew that everything was going to be okay. Just that deep breathing alone definitely got me through that really tough time. I went to top academic school in Sydney. It was unbelievably competitive. And actually I did use hypnosis and meditation to actually make it through my final exams. because I was having panic attacks. So I have been doing this for decades. I've studied with many people. I'll write a blog about them soon so you can understand just the breadth of my experience. So what's specifically included in this class, as some of you know, I don't skip steps, and this will be approximately a 3 to 4 hour class. You can come and go as needed. I'm a very flexible person. I'd much rather that you are comfortable than feeling obligated to be there. And to be honest, most of the time you will be off screen anyway. I will send you meditation tracks recorded on the day and beforehand, just so that you do have a bit of a toolbox, because it's always nice to have lots of variety. You'll get all the notes that I present, as well as a checklist to help you, especially with, I suppose, troubleshooting this self-help technique. And you just, you get an opportunity in this class to meet your guides. Some of them will be outside, some of them will be inside, but they love you and they can help you right now. So who is this class for? Really, if you just want to learn the basics of meditation, if you've been meditating for some time and you just like some new perspectives on it and maybe some new methods, I think you would really enjoy this, honestly. And as I mentioned, I specifically have tailored it for those who see repeated numbers, actually wearing one of my 1111 shirts I've made. So people who see these numbers are ready to understand the matrix and to connect with the divine through this conversation of numbers. Most of them actually understand facts and figures really well. A lot of them work with money or maths or business, and actually that's also my background. So when this happens, the spiritual awakening can look a bit different. Often there's a lot more obstacles to overcome in terms of beliefs, and there's a lot of fear of being considered crazy or being flooded with emotion. And the way I create these classes is I'm very step by step. It's not fluffy, it's something you can use straight away, and hopefully this video as well will give you some confidence that I'm not going to rush you. So you don't need a lot of experience, but if you do have it and you still feel drawn to the class, please come. And even if you don't see numbers yet, please come. You've come to the page. I would suggest there's a really good reason. And look, just ask for a sign. You might get some goosebumps, tingling, emotion. Ask for a sign if you're meant to come to this class and you will get it. I work with a really large amount of guides, and trust me, they're very proactive in gathering the right people for these experiences. So in terms of how to prepare, I would encourage you to find your life path on my website. There's a link here. If you want to be super ready, you could check out a couple of my classes that I've pre-recorded. One's called Develop Your Intuition and Banish Self-Doubt. That talks a lot about what it is to be psychic and intuitive and how to clear and protect your energy, which is really great if you often feel a bit drained or even helpless in the face of all this social media and people really carrying a lot of grief at the moment. And I've also got my 2022 forecast, which a lot of you have supported. Thank you. And that has a lot of life path specific information and also a rundown of what's going on this year globally. And that can be a nice background for something like this. Meditation levels are on the increase, especially since COVID. People are at home more, and basically this is becoming essential for people to stay sane with so much blurring of boundaries. In terms of the topics covered, I've got a handy little section here. You can just have a look yourself. So briefly, I do go through the 1111 awakening process, which I've studied for a very long time, over a decade. We'll talk about the benefits of meditation, when, where, who, the basics, some examples of people who meditate. So one of the reasons I am launching this class, actually I had a dream where a famous tennis player talked to me all night, and then I looked them up, and what do you know, their website was all about meditation. And that was Pat Cash. A lot of you might remember him, very inspirational person. And to be honest, this class is also dedicated to one of my friends who passed recently, Susanna. Susanna and I were similar, very sensitive people. She used to say that she had ADHD, and we may never totally know. And one of her greatest regrets, actually, in our last conversation, was that she hadn't learned meditation. That really stuck with me this past month or so. So I am, I've created this class in my head for quite some time, but I just knew I need to get it out there. And I hope that you don't mind me sharing that, but honestly, this is a personal passion of mine, that people know how to help themselves in those times of crisis so they don't have regrets later, and so they can be that guiding light to themselves and their loved ones. So we'll go through some myths about meditation. I've actually got a blog post on those which you can have a look at as background, so I'll be expanding on that. We'll talk about some of the palmistry signs for meditation. You'd be amazed what the hand can tell you, especially the type of headline you have. The more it sort of cuts across the hand, often the more need for meditation, so that we don't lose connection with our emotions and our spiritual abilities, because the mind can only take us so far. It's like traveling by land and never air or water. So we'll have some question and answer time in the class. We'll do a guided meditation. We'll also talk about the nature of spiritual awakening. This will be fairly general as it is an intro class. We'll talk about why we need to keep evolving our meditation practice. As a little heads up, I'm very big on people creating their own meditations, especially in their own voice and words, because in the end, if you don't listen to yourself, there isn't a lot of power, when you are speaking to others or making requests. I personally have recorded meditations which I do sell from my site, and I listen to one of them, the Detox Relationships meditation, before every reading. So I've probably listened to it several hundred times now over the past few years, and I write it all down in a diary with my number sightings, and it's really great actually to be able to track the guidance, especially those repeated messages. That said, that track's actually available for free if you join my Patreon. There's a lot of bonuses in that group. Anyway, so I'll talk about how to stay inspired, and then there's a bit of a bonus section which you won't be able to find anywhere else, I would think. And so this will be sort of common meditation blocks I experience based on people's life paths. Now, your life path comes from the sum of your date of birth in numerology, and as I mentioned, you can easily calculate that on my site. There's a link here. It's an amazing experience understanding your life path, because at the age turning points, we can see these patterns. For example, my life path adds to 29, and at 29 I discovered numerology, and I started moving out of my conventional life into one that was a lot better for my mental health and longevity. So we'll do some of that by life path, and I will send you some links about your life path and personal years based on what you provide during booking. So I'll send that as an email before the class. So there's some customization to this class, even though it is still at that community level. Apart from that, there'll be some bonuses, some interviews and things like that. A lot of people I recommend. I have some fantastic mentors, most of whom have worked with me, again, over a decade. I'm a long-termer, and I would love if this class could get you into a habit of meditating really regularly, because that's when you're going to see the results, and you're going to develop this incredible inner strength and ability to get up again after tragedy and difficulty. So this is common to all my classes, but if you do sign up for this live class, you get an opportunity to send your feedback afterwards and actually go in the draw to win a follow-up call with me. So this is something I've offered for a long time but not really promoted, and it's just that thank you for those who sign up for the call. You can buy the replay later on, and it's a slightly lower price, but this is really just to reward those people who are supporting the creation of this class. And also I'll talk to the people signing up about that ability to have some customized meditations co-created on a phone call, Zoom call with me. This is something I've done for a long time, with my clients. And so essentially we bring through visualizations that are specifically going to help you with outcomes and that are absolutely unique to you and often quite entertaining, to be honest. But you won't find this combination of techniques anywhere else. I'm really, really grateful, in fact, that I have this chance to invite you to the class because I just love teaching, if you can't tell. So on the page, you can sort of read through the other things. I won't read this all out, but essentially, hopefully I've covered all the bases. I do encourage you to have a really good night's sleep, bring some food, bring some water, have a babysitter if needed. When you're coming to the class, it's an experience. I often go overtime as I like to stay back and answer questions. And I also have a baby who I need to check in on, so there will be breaks. So that's all the basics. I guess the last thing to say is about this intro meditation webinar. I'd really love to see you there, especially if you follow my work. I do have a lot of lurkers who, comment on the posts over years. And if you've been waiting for that kind of right time, I would say this class is it. It's going to be a springboard to a number of other classes I run in the future. And it's always great to be part of something new and really in tune with the times. So you can absolutely expect a lot of synchronicity and validation once you book in. I get a lot of people tell me they have a massive increase in number sightings. They get things like hot hands, goosebumps, they see feathers, they have dreams, they get animal messengers. And I encourage you to write this down, let me know. I'm really, really happy actually that these things happen because it can get tiring sometimes being a sensitive person, and it's so beautiful when we get those strong coincidences, so to speak, to help us stay in our heart, in our center, in our mission. So enjoy the magic. I really do hope you can join me at this class, intro meditation webinar on the 2nd of April. And just thank you so much for your support. It has been a pretty brutal time, I think, for all of us these last few years on the planet. The fact that you're here is incredible. Thank you for doing that. Just thank you for being here. And I look forward to connecting with you, hopefully through this class, and if not, through some future work and avenues. So take care. This is Sarah from sarayip.com, Facebook The Numbers Queen, and Instagram sarayip1111, signing off with my 1111 angel shirt and double peace signs as usual. Take care. See you next time. Bye.